Welcome, my dears, to my first video that I record an actual voiceover and give this speed paint, drawing, coloring, somewhat of a personality and spice. I'm a 2D traditional artist out of Colorado with a passion for all things mystical. I grew up New Age Celtic pagan and continue to search for the path that spoke to me personally. I will be blending most of my knowledge of the zodiac signs during this series with my personal opinions and anecdotes. Scorpio is a strange sign in the zodiac to start out with, I know, but I felt like this particular piece spoke to me louder than the others. You know, typical Scorpio. Alright, so some quick basic facts about the sign. The element is water, polarity is negative, your quality is fixed, so it means you're stubborn, unlike mutable, which is not so stubborn. The ruling planet is Pluto, or Mars. Mars is obviously the god of war. Pluto is the god of death. It's the 8th house in the zodiac, and the spirit color is black. Your lucky gem, topaz or opal. I didn't draw a topaz or opal in this drawing just because the colors almost fit, but they don't quite speak to me as much as like a redstone, a fire opal. Maybe I could have done that. Maybe I'll do that with the Prismacolor layer. Later on, I might make that middle stone more fire opal looking, because those are some pretty colors, and it does fit with the rest of it, the color scheme. Alright, so the ruling goddess is Serket. So Serket's one of my favorite Egyptian goddesses. She's the goddess of protection originally. She's worshipped widely in Lower Egypt as one of the great mother archetypes. And this was mostly during the pre-dynastic period. The scorpion is depicted on her head in this period. Eventually, she was absorbed into the dominating cult of Horus, which obviously came later, and she became the goddess of death and the afterlife. So, Egyptian myths are fascinating because they come from our ancient past and depicted a sophisticated and magical way of looking at the afterlife. Serket became a goddess that breathed life into the justified, or those that were judged justly souls. That whole myth with the scales and the feather and the heart. So, so the ones that were allowed were judged justly. She breathed life into them and allowed them to move on through the underworld, the afterlife, which is a series of gateways. And the unjustified are denied Serket's breath and are left to be devoured by Amut, which is that crocodile monster, I believe. I could be wrong on that one. I could dive deeply into the Egyptian mythologies for hours, but I feel like just a precursor on this is really all you need to get how Serket is one of the goddesses I picked to talk about when doing this video, because she's not only the scorpion goddess, she's also a goddess of protection. She's that mother archetype. And I find that fascinating that the Egyptians took it that way. There's myths of her being a protector of Isis and a protector of other beings and of children. So it's strange that a goddess that can sting you can also protect you. So, back to Scorpio. Scorpio is a mysterious zodiac that is as mercurial as water. I've only called a couple Scorpios friend, and always tried to stay on their good side, obviously, because they hold grudges, and once you cross them, they kind of slink out of your life, or they just disappear, and unless there's a conflict, they do feed off that. So that's probably why they've been distant friends for me. A Scorpio feeds off conflict and passion. I am a very passionate person, but at the same time, over the years, I've always tried to avoid conflict. And so a Scorpio feeds off that, and they value personal growth and change. So they are always moving forward in their life. They want that next gateway. They are the sign of death. Their spirit animal is definitely that scorpion that is constantly moving and along the sand, and is something that we all must have, well, I would say learn from. Scorpio is that sign that is later in the zodiac, so they're more mature. They're not like Aries, the infant, or Cancer, the childhood, the adolescent. They are that death sign that gets the most out of what it means to go through those stages of death, of acceptance and growth, because just like the death card, it doesn't mean the ending of something. It means the beginning of something else. So that's how I feel Scorpio has impacted my life and taught me how to be a better person. So I hope you stick around for the next video in this series. I'm splitting up the Copic layer with the Prismacolor colored pencil layer on this piece, so expect more insights into this sign. And I feel like with the contrast between the blue and the red, the garnet, I feel like this piece came together naturally and as like a flame would. So the center of a flame is blue, and then it fades out from yellow to a dark red. And I find that's very appropriate for Scorpio, because they are flames of themselves. They're always burning brightly. And so because this is my first video, I wrote down only a certain amount, thinking that this would fill exactly how much that I needed for this video. But we all learn, and I'll probably overwrite next time and then have too much to speak and look up and see that it's already done, that I'm already done coloring or done with the piece and so on. So I hope you enjoyed this piece, and thank you for watching. Links to the background music is below, and also check out my Patreon and Instagram. And I hope you enjoy the rest of this video, and mostly me coloring the background. It's kind of hard to make black, especially Copic markers, a flat black. Like, you're always going to have those, the way the Copic marker blends together, you can get it to blend, but you're wasting ink at that point. So my plan is to either do like gel pen, or I've got some gouache somewhere, some white gouache that I can just like flick over the black parts to make it look like she's just in space, and maybe do some constellations in the back and something to that effect, to just kind of, you know, distract from all those little lines that are driving me insane even looking at this piece. So the other thing is that I feel like the Prismacolor layer is going to make a lot of the piece stand out in certain aspects, especially her tail, because I feel like the tail almost blends into the background. And of course I have some really good plans for the symbol, because I just colored in but I leave the background blank, which I've done on my Egyptian piece before, and it drives me crazy. I don't know what to put in there, but I think I have a really good idea of how I want to do that this time. So this is all that I have, and I hope you enjoy my ramblings. And that's all I have. Bella the Firebird signing out. Thanks for watching.